Good evening, travellers, and welcome once again to Papa Ginger's Midnight Circus. Tonight, the moon hangs low over the midway. The carousel stands still. The tents sway gently in the warm night breeze, and somewhere beyond the glow of our lantern stretches a long, lonely highway. A highway that disappears into darkness. A highway where the wrong turn can become the last turn. So gather close to the fire, because tonight's tale begins on a dusty Texas road. And at the end of the road waits a house, a very unusual house, a house horror fans have never forgotten. Tonight, we're talking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Some horror movies begin with monsters, others begin with ghosts. This one begins with ordinary people, friends, travelers, young people taking a road trip beneath the summer sun. Nothing feels unusual at first. No dark castles, no haunted cemeteries, just open roads and endless countryside. And perhaps that's what makes the story so unsettling, because it feels possible. The horror isn't hidden in another world, it's waiting in ours, just beyond the next bend. So when audiences first saw the film in 1974, many believed they were watching something almost real. The movie looked rough, it looked dirty, uncomfortable. Almost like footage recovered from a terrible event. Every frame felt hot and suffocating. The Texas sun seemed to burn through the screen itself. You could almost feel the sweat, the dust, the exhaustion. And that realism made the nightmare far more effective, because horror becomes frightening when it feels like it could actually happen. Then came Leatherface, a giant figure emerging from a doorway, silent, unexpected, terrifying. Now here's something fascinating. Leatherface rarely speaks. He doesn't deliver speeches, he doesn't explain himself, he doesn't taunt his victims. He simply appears, and sometimes the things we don't understand are far more frightening than the things we do. The unknown has always been one of the fear's favourite disguises. A shadow is often scarier than the monster creating it. Many people remember the chainsaw, and after all, it becomes one of the most recognisable images in horror history. But here's the strange thing. The film's true power isn't the weapon, it's the atmosphere. The feeling that something is deeply wrong, the sense that civilization has been left behind, that help isn't coming, that every mile travelled has taken you further away from safety. The chainsaw may be the symbol, but isolation is the real villain. Like many of the stories we tell beneath the circus tent, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre reflects deeper fears. Fears of strangers, fears of isolation, fear of places forgotten by the modern world, and perhaps most importantly, fear of losing control. The characters enter the story believing they understand the world around them. By the end, every certainty has been shattered. And that's a lesson horror returns to again and again. The world is predictable until suddenly it isn't. Over the years, countless horror films have tried to recreate what the Texas Chainsaw Massacre achieved: the brutality, the atmosphere, the sense of dread. But few have captured that same feeling, the sensation of stumbling into a nightmare that doesn't care whether you're white, black, gay, straight, or even if you survive. A nightmare that isn't interested in rules or fairness or happy endings. Only chaos, only fear, only the endless hum of a chainsaw somewhere in the distance. And perhaps that's why the film remains legendary. Not because it shocked audiences, not because it frightened them, but because it convinced them. For 90 minutes, viewers believed they had stepped into a place they were never meant to see. A place hidden beyond the map. A place hidden beyond the highway, beyond the reach of reason. And once you visit a place like that, a part of you never truly leaves. Well, my friends, the fire is burning low, the lanterns are flickering, and the road beyond the circus grounds has grown very quiet. Too quiet, perhaps. So if you find yourself driving down a lonely highway somewhere, and you spot an old house sitting by itself in the distance, you might consider continuing on your way. Some doors are best left unopened. Some roads are best left unexplored. And some stories are best told after midnight. Thank you for joining me beneath the canvas sky of Papa Ginger's Midnight Circus. Until next time, keep your eyes on the road and your ears away from the sound of engines in the dark. Good night.